I was rewarded for playing small and like playing it safe.
When fear reigns, you begin to settle.
What is worth the risk?
Hey, thanks for following me over to part 2. We're going to continue to explore playing small, how it works for us, how it works against us, how insidious it is, how we don't even notice it sometimes. So let's get into it. Number 4, you let fear make your decisions for you. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of ownership, fear of taking responsibility for your life.
So I was raised in a pastor's home. I love my parents. And I don't know about you, Jim Marie, but I was actually rewarded in so many ways for playing it small or playing it safe. Obviously, we didn't have that kind of language back then, but at the time, I was the oldest of 3 and I did everything right. I figured out the system. I figured out how to not sin, or at least not tell anybody. I figured out how to not embarrass my family and make us look good. Like, I was rewarded for playing small and like playing it safe. Before I step in with any of my gift set, any opinions of mine, any leadership of mine, I sit and observe, learn all of the ins and outs of this culture. And then I would posture myself to being that person that I've made up that they want me to be.
When fear is in charge, it makes decisions for us. Decisions around safety, around protection, prevention, proving. And that fear could be real or it could be imagined, and it doesn't matter either way, because our brains tell us, put it on pause and let the fear do the choosing.
I'm noticing how so much of that was not about like talent, ability, or capability, but it was about self-protection with overthinking or waiting for the like perfect timing or hiding behind preparation, just avoiding risk, visibility, judgment altogether. It was all like this kind of protective mechanism that I created for myself.
Number 5, you accept less than what you really want. You begin to settle.
And I remember early in my 20s, I had this dream of having a intensive outpatient program where I can do this transformational work around and with young people who are struggling. And I held this dream close to my heart. I decided that everybody else thought that it would be ridiculous because I'm not in recovery properly. And so I tried to cook it over here and just failed miserably. Kimberly, I failed miserably.
What I'm seeing more and more is, if I can just cook it over here and not really involve anybody, it's probably not a vision.
This is the one I see the most, and it's insidious, where people convince themselves they didn't really want what they said they wanted in the first place, and they just continue to reduce their vision, their desires, the way they see themselves into what they can reasonably expect.
And it wasn't until I was willing to say it out loud. This is a vision that I have that I am making up everybody thinks is ridiculous. And I said it out loud in that room. And not only was it inspiring to the room, which was so beautiful, there were individuals in that room that created opportunity for me to see this vision through. I have launched my first recovery project, my first recovery retreat center in Costa Rica. It was just a month ago we launched, and I feel so excited about it. Like, we gotta articulate the vision at some point and take a risk and step into the arena and get messy.
That is the most amazing thing. Such a beautiful vision. Look at this guy.
Number 6, you define yourself by your limitations. You're so focused on the things you can't do, the things you don't know, the things that you aren't sure about.
I was having a conversation with another coach in our environment, and I was just saying how we do a lot of training, we do a lot of like public speaking, and I was realizing that the belief that I have was everything's hinging on this moment every time. And if I don't prove myself in this moment, everything's gonna crash and burn.
That's it. That's all you get.
That's all I get. I'm just realizing how much my body, my nervous system is believing that story, which creates such an experience for me.
Yeah, because then the game becomes, how do I stay safe, or how do I operate only within the limits that I already know?
And pretty soon your world gets really, really small. until maybe you don't recognize yourself. You don't even remember the you of your youth, where you had dreams, you had excitement, where you had vision, and everything gets adapted and normalized to the smallest version of who you are and what's possible. So those are 6 very common ways that playing small can show up. Now let me ask you some questions, and you can do a little self-inventory to see where you land. Has there been a recent opportunity for you to do something new, to step out, to be creative, and you chose not to, out of fear, out of talking yourself out of it, out of not wanting to make a mistake? Notice how many situations you have something to say, but you stay quiet. You don't use your voice. You silence yourself. Self-silencing is a really common indicator that you're playing small in life. And lastly, notice when comfort becomes your God. You sacrifice your dreams and your power at the altar of being comfortable. And notice what areas you're growing in and what areas you feel stagnant.
And it's so much more satisfying to fail in pursuit of something huge than it is to succeed at something predictable.
If you're able to see yourself in any of these examples, make a comment. I'd love to hear more from you. And you can watch any of these videos as a follow-up to see what's next.